How do you really feel, though?
Hate it.
We hate it.
Damn it.
Everyone hates
You know
it.
how I really feel. I feel like this is Fancy Ramen, and this is our second part of our Game of the Year discussions.
Part two.
In the building.
I'm Neil.
I'm John.
What's up? I'm Keith. Buck.
And I'm Scott.
Been a while.
Scott doesn't get a picture frame this time around, so I'm sorry, Scott.
And we could hold it up, but
CGI Scott.
Yeah, yeah,
As one of those Wii
put
avatars.
me in there. I want that holographic Tupac treatment.
he's that little hot dog that you see on Snapchat just breakdancing.
We have about the same amount of hair.
Andre Agassi pulled it off pretty well, so I think
Yeah,
you're in good
and
company.
I haven't even had to like transcend to headbutting people to like really seal my image. So I've
think
still got
Andre-
room to grow.
Do you think Andre Agassi's played video games this year?
Probably. I bet he played Doki Doki Paradise.
You mean Literature Club?
Or Literature Club, yeah.
There's
sorry.
another game called Doki Doki, right?
Yeah, that's why I keep getting thrown off by it.
Yeah. Equally as fun and cheery.
That's the thing. I haven't played it, but when I was looking up Doki Doki from the first time I heard a podcast about it, it went down like some dark routes, I'll say.
What's the translation of Doki Doki mean?
That's the sound
It's
effect
like
of
a heartbeat sound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's
I don't
like
think it sounds like a heartbeat, but
Doki.
Doki.
Do you think a bark sounds like a bark?
Sounds like a chant you do around a fire when you're trying to make something arise.
Arise, chicken, arise.
Doki.
I mean, when you boot that game up, they just Doki Doki.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty catchy theme song. It's
It
a little
is.
It is.
irritatingly cheery.
I love
Anyways,
that
games of the year.
game. Games of the year. It's been a great year.
Pretty fucking spectacular. Who wants
this
to
year
start
kicked
off?
ass. There's so many good games this year.
Tell us how you feel about it, Keith.
Let's go down the list real quick. Resident Evil
Boom.
kicked
Yeah.
ass. Nier
Yeah.
also
did
kicked
it.
ass. You had a lot of other good games. South Park.
Yep.
Evil Within 2 was nice.
Horizon.
It was
It was nice. Horizon.
I feel like Horizon came out last year, but it didn't.
It was like
It was
March?
just so early.
Yeah. You had Danganronpa V3.
Yeah.
You had Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Oh man.
Persona 5. Cosmic Star Heroine.
Cosmic
which
Star
I
Heroine.
Probably is the only one who played that here, but that game is awesome.
Then the shooters, Destiny 2, Call of Duty. What's that one they dropped in November?
World War II.
World War II.
Yeah, only
Yep.
one of the most important events in American
That one,
world history.
That one fight that went down with the Germans.
Yeah.
But that, yeah. Wolfenstein 2.
Right?
You had
That other fight with the Germans.
the other one, the one that went the other way.
Hollow
Man, what else was there? So many games.
There were a lot of really good indie games too. What was it? Heat Point?
Knight.
Hollow Knight, yeah.
Super hot.
VR for certain consoles, right? Because I think the VR version came out in 2016, but it hit PSVR this year,
Yeah.
maybe.
What about
sounds
Hellblade? Did
right.
you guys play Hellblade?
Oh, no, I didn't, but I did hear some good things
Is
about
it
that.
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
by, was it Ninja Theory?
Oh shit. That is on my list of like games I should have played but didn't.
Yeah, same
So-
here. I didn't even find out about it till the Game Awards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on my list of things to do.
I've also heard a lot of really good things about the recent Assassin's Creed. That's-
Origins.
Yeah.
That looks dope.
And there was another game. Tomb Raider came out for PS4 this year. PS4 and PC.
Did Final Fantasy 15 come out this year?
No, it was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
I think that was my game of the year last year
Was it
because
really?
it was just a weak ass year, you know. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I was just thinking. I was just hearing about the story DLC that they're still coming out with for that game.
Is the game
Yeah.
actually finished in terms
I
of
don't
the
think
storyline?
so.
Because
I
the
don't
next
know.
DLC is the one about the bad guy, right? I didn't play the game, but
I stopped playing because I was told that basically the game doesn't finish, and I was like, "Oh, okay, then I'll just
Yes.
wait for the DLC to come out."
because like they're like, you remember when this guy walked off and you didn't see him while you were playing the game? Well, here's his story. You can download it or whatever, right?
What happened to
There
my?
are gaping holes in that
And-
storyline.
And the story. Thank you
In the
for finishing
storyline.
that. I needed that.
Speaking of gaping, what happened to my DLC with Cindy? Excuse me. the VR experience where you're supposed to play as the blonde kid, and you get to like ride along with Cindy or Sydney, depending on what version.
Oh, was that the VR fishing game?
No,
No?
it was before the VR fishing game. It got
Dude, I don't know.
canceled. Is where
Good.
I'm leading
I'm glad
to.
it did. Squares.
You're way ahead of us, Neil. We don't know.
Well, did you see, speaking of both Assassin's Creed and Final Fantasy, did you see that they're putting chocobos into Assassin's Creed Origins? It's like a chocobo camel that you can.
Yeah, and they added Assassin's Creed costumes to Final Fantasy 15, which is exactly what that game needed.
Mhm.
That was my number one problem with it. Was it needed more Assassin's Creed costumes?
Did 2017 suck?
No,
Like,
no,
16 did.
It sounds like 17 sucks.
no,
now.
because
17, awesome, dude.
I had to pull it up. All right, we haven't talked you got a
right,
Zelda,
right, Zelda.
You got Mario, you got.
But no one at this table aside from myself, and Scott's technically not at the table. You guys don't have Switches though,
No,
so you didn't get to play Super Mario Odyssey,
nope.
Breath of the Wild.
Is Scott still here?
Dude, don't rub it in. Like, yeah, surprise.
Anyway,
I'm still here.
Keep
I'm
going,
just saying
Neil.
that despite like even taking away Nintendo's catalog, which was pretty brilliant this year, you still have a lot of really good games.
I want to play Cuphead. Haven't played that yet. I really want to play that game.
There's a couple fighting games that came out this year.
Injustice 2,
Tekken, what number are they on? 7? 7.
Baker's Dozen.
Did that?
What?
Wasn't
Isn't
there
that-
wasn't
I
there a
don't know.
Capcom fighting game? A Marvel versus
Oh,
something?
Marvel versus Capcom
I didn't play
Infinite
that.
or Universe or
I
something.
didn't play that one.
You had Neo. Anybody play Neo?
Mm-mm.
No,
That was
but I was
2017.
interested.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to it. I still have to play Dark Souls 3.
You
Yeah, you
got
do.
Evil Within 2. Did anyone suffer through Mass Effect Andromeda?
Mm-mm.
No,
Hell no.
I really want to pick it up though.
It's going for like $14 now.
14. It's got to be
yeah,
like
I saw it.
$5 for me.
It's under 10. Definitely pick it up for me.
Oh shit! I forgot Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out. This is wonderful video podcast where I'm just looking at
Game
my
of the
phone.
year, Star Wars
Sorry.
Battlefront 2. Anyone even play that?
Microtransactions.
I didn't play it.
Okay, so I'll start things off.
Yeah.
Since, yeah. I've already said it a little early, but I haven't really talked about it since I was holding on to these conversations for now. So, third best game of the year, like as crazy as it sounds, Danganronpa V3. Like this year and 2016 have been like kind of dark for me, not so much personally, but on a social or societal level. And like the common theme for the games I like the most this year are uplifting or optimistic. I mean, Danganronpa is about murdering people too, so it's not that uplifting, but at the same time, the theme of that game is about like aspiring or achieving hope and holding on to it.
Yeah.
Gotta motivate you to be better.
Yeah.
Cool.
And solve murder mysteries. So
And stay
like,
alive.
you don't actually kill people. You figure out who kills people so you can, convict them.
Yep.
I see.
But no one's going to care about spoilers here, right? Because you guys aren't going to play.
No, you'll never play it. Scott, did you play that one?
As long as you guys don't spoil Hellblade, I'm game.
Okay.
So you go through the first 15% to 20% of that game.
Before you get going, I want to say
Okay.
that my third favorite game of 2017 is Danganronpa V3 as well.
Yeah.
So
Great minds think alike.
yeah,
Keith? Yeah?
go ahead.
It's also mine.
These two.
Put your foot on the gas and let's roll with
Table
it.
Like,
split.
20 minutes in, excuse me, it's multiple hours, but like 20% into that game, you're playing as a character who like is pretty likable and
It's the first female main character of Danganronpa, of the main series.
yeah, because you have Ultra Despair Girls.
Yeah.
But
You're
like
okay.
you grow attached to her. She's cool. She's outgoing and stuff. And in the middle of the trial, there's a character swap or a protagonist swap because you come to the conclusion that your main character or the previous main character actually committed the murder.
Mm-hmm.
So
Damn.
when you swap over to the new protagonist, it's fantastic and it's unexpected. And they even utilize that, I guess we'll say conviction or that murder as part of the final twist at the end of the game. And or near the end of the game.
Yeah, before the final part of it. But yeah, like you get attached to that main character, Kaede, and then she does what she does. She wants to kill this mastermind, and so everyone can live happily ever after. She's willing to do this, and then you play the love interest basically. That they make you think it's the love interest right away. You play as him, and so this entire rest of the way, he's using her as the moral compass of everything, and it's really like it's my favorite main character of the Danganronpa series, Shuichi.
Excuse you, Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just there's a lot of new things in there, but the chapters and how all the new stuff that they did, like, man, I don't know how I'm trying to explain it right now, but it was definitely every single character in that game had some sort of trait and some sort of personality that was themselves, and there wasn't any like waste there, I don't think.
Yeah, love them or hate them. Like I disliked a lot of characters in that game, but I didn't dislike them because they were written poorly. I just disliked them, and that I think was the intention of it.
Mm-hmm.
And being the third installment in that series, I think they never really dropped the momentum. So the intensity level of the first one starts at maybe a 5 out of 10 or a 4. You get into the second one, you don't start off at that. You've picked up where the first one leads off. Even though the stories aren't entirely connected, it's not like you're playing the same cast.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time you hit the third one, it's just every mystery or every chapter is an extremely great mystery.
So let's blow it open right now. So for you guys that don't know, you wake up and you have amnesia, and you're in this school for gifted juveniles, and everyone's like, well, why are we here? Why are we juveniles? Like, what is this? The very end of the game, you find, and this is totally layman's terms to the max. The end of the game, you find out that you are V3 stands for 53, and you're on the 53rd installment of Danganronpa, the TV show.
Yeah, and that the first.
How you doing, Buck?
So they just forgot to put
You find out that this entire
T in front of the V there?
all the games that you've been playing at this point in time have been TV shows.
Or well, the first two are games. Or
Games.
like media of some form.
Yeah.
Talking like Family Feud.
It's like Hunger Games and The Matrix.
It's like if you had the Lost reality TV show, except everyone was brainwashed into thinking that like, oh shit, not Lost, Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Combine Lost and Survivor together, and that's what Danganronpa V3 is.
Okay.
So it flipped the way you think about that game on its head. And when that game came out, everyone's like, you're either gonna love or hate the ending. And you can see why, because it basically everything was a lie that you thought of until then. Or you could be like, well, that's brilliant. Where are they going to go from here?
And despite that huge ass twist, they still managed to write in these weird, like, not really plot holes, but interesting tidbits that seem to lead you on to hope for something greater within the story. Like, we'll have to talk about this some other time, but there are some glaring clues to point out that, like, maybe not all is what it seems in that game.
I'd love to hear more about these tidbits that you said.
Tidbits?
Yeah.
Riblets.
You're going to have to buy a PlayStation Vita to see those tidbits.
So my second game, and I won't talk about this much since I did cover this last time, Persona 5. Again, like there are so many flaws in Persona 5. Is that also yours?
We're going to have the exact same ones, I think.
All right. Yeah.
Just because Danganronpa, I have no idea. But I did watch these two play Persona 5. So it was like the unique personalities and characters of the game, not necessarily similar, but the same concept where you actually look at everyone in a different light instead of opposed to what else I'm trying to say.
I mean, yeah, I've really enjoyed the cast in 5 a lot, but it wasn't necessarily the thing that made me attached to that game so much. It's just that the story felt like it was very timely for 2017, like where there's a lot of unhappy people.
Now,
Persona 5
You're saying Persona 5 was timely or Danganronpa was?
Persona 5 was timely.
Okay.
And
Well, just like you said at the beginning of this, was that most of these games kind of have the same, hope type is kind of is the same thing. Same, I don't know what the word is. But Yeah, though that's also my second one too, and you can hear all about it in the archives of Fancy Ramen, where we did a 2-hour
Yeah, something like that.
2-hour
Spoiler
podcast
cast.
about it.
So we don't have to talk much about that.
No,
right?
we don't.
And then number 1, which I'm assuming might be yours too, is Nier Automata.
Correct.
You guys are in cahoots. Here.
No.
Oh yeah, Keith, they're in cahoots.
I'm on to you,
Excuse me.
Neil. I'm on to
These
you.
two are in cahoots. I didn't play jack shit, so I'm all
You've
by
been playing.
myself.
We're just letting him on here because he lives here.
Right.
You play
I'm-
Destiny.
I'm here to ask dumb questions, some very serious and some not so much. More so not so much than the honest question. But yeah, I'm on an island, and now Keith's on an island because you two are in cahoots.
Keith's played Nier Automata, not the original.
I gave it a playthrough.
Which I don't understand how you stopped after
Well,
that.
all
Did
right.
you did you even
Do you wanna
start
get
the
into
second
this right
playthrough?
now?
Let's do it.
No.
All right,
let-
well,
let-
I mean,
should we get into it now, or should we let them do their? This is
let's
this
hear
is
your
the near
number one
storyline.
game first, and then
You two in
it's Nier.
cahoots. Tell us why it's the number one game, and then Keith, I'll stand behind Keith.
Scott's
'cause
played it too.
just back me up.
So-
Yeah, I
Sorry.
have, and it didn't make
We're
my
roommates.
top 3 list. So.
So I'm going to say that these are personal lists, first and foremost, right? It's not like I'm
Correct.
trying to come up with the comprehensive best games of 2017. Because if I were,
Oh,
it'd
weird.
probably
That's what I
be-
did because I tried to keep it professional.
Oh come on, Scott.
Mm.
Come on, Scott. You're not even here.
Just
if
chill
I were
out,
doing
Scott.
that, I think I would have done Breath of the Wild, number 1. Number 2, I don't know. Mario Odyssey's up there too, but Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and something
It's because
else.
the Nintendo games get higher scores, and that's just how it happens.
Well, regardless, too, it's just Breath of the Wild is like has something magical about it that I can't take away, but it also doesn't really have a rich storyline, which is where I think it suffers for me.
You guys think it's better than Horizon?
I haven't played enough Horizon at this point.
Are we doing?
And I haven't played it to have an opinion.
Damn it! I played the little bit. I played probably 4 hours of Horizon.
See, and
It's
our other
fucking awesome.
co-host Cookie is notorious for not finishing games, so we'll never really know.
That's right.
And he's the one playing it. All right,
I
so
know he's the one who has it, so we can only guarantee about 3 hours worth of game time from him.
so with Nier, I love the combat. Like I love the action RPG or character action. That's really what this is. It's a character action game. It feels kind of like a more involved Bayonetta, I guess you could say, in certain aspects. And then when they threw in the twin stick shooter mode, which you haven't gotten to yet. Actually,
Yeah, you have.
Sure, I have. It's all over the game.
you kind
You're
of
talking
have
about flying around and
No, like, well, yes and no. Do
It's
you
in the
remember
first
when
playthrough.
you're hacked by the amusement park boss,
vaguely.
and then you're like a little triangle
Yeah.
shaped spaceship, and
Oh,
there's
that
balls.
one. Okay, yeah.
You have to hack the boss.
Well, yes, like on your second playthrough,
yeah, you're right, yeah.
I'm going to spoil a bit for you. On the second playthrough, you end up playing as 9S, the boy.
I have
the
gotten
kid.
that far on my second.
Okay,
so
okay. So
got
you
into that.
get the hacking mechanic or
Right.
gameplay, and
well, that's
that
awesome.
I really enjoy the hacking, and it
It's
also
tough.
speeds up every fight from there on. Like if you're in a tough fight,
Absolutely.
you just hack, bam, it's done.
Yeah.
And the game also has like a great flow. By the point you want to rush to get to the end, you're already done with side quests, so you never feel boggled down and like you never feel like
Oh, really?
you're having a Witcher issue. I guess you could say.
Heard
Where-
that.
You get to the end of the game, and guess what? You still have 20 more side quests.
Yeah.
Like in
I'll never beat that game.
granted, yeah, there's a bunch of fetch quests at the start of that game, but it was really surprising how a lot of those fetch quests ended up being like rewarding in
Yeah.
weird ways.
Like the assassin one. That's really good.
And also a good foreshadow in that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was my favorite game. I mean, we might as well just go through it. Yeah, that's my favorite game of the year. And to get me out of the way before we can move it on to you guys, I've never played a Nier game or a Yoko Taro game or Drakengard, any of that stuff. And I bought it just so I could get over the threshold of a Nebraska Furniture Mart no interest plan. and I was like, okay, this I've heard it's dope. That's all I ever heard about it. And then
So it ends up being the best calculated purchase you've ever made.
True. Yeah. Yeah. And I saw that it was done by Platinum, and I was like, okay. And I looked up a little bit, and one of the reviews, I forget where it was. It says, if you need a Metal Gear Solid fix, play this game. And I'm like, okay, that's my favorite series.
I need that.
And I do need that. And I played it. I was like, and I was playing this. I was like, this is just weird enough to really scratch that itch. And we were, I played the first part of it. And the first part of the game is you have to play like 10 minutes before you can even save. And you have to do this twin stick shooter with the plane, and then you have to do like from 2D to 3D, and then you have to fight this big mech.
Neil's just getting all excited thinking about it right
Yeah,
now.
the
Y'all
first
can't
hour of
see
that
it.
game's
He's just
amazing.
Like,
Yeah, and
He's
like
reliving the
he's
game
just
right
rubbing
now.
his nipples when
I
John's
did
talking.
see that.
and the dynamic soundtrack of it just keeps growing and growing and building and building. And I remember just playing this. I'm like, what the fuck is this game? Like, this is nuts.
I was sitting there like, this is awesome.
Yeah, we're locked in, and then I died.
Oh yeah, that was awesome too.
And then I
Wait,
just,
did you die because you failed at the combat, or you died because
yeah.
you die in that scene?
No, I failed in the combat. I screwed up.
Oh
And then-
no.
Yeah, and so I had to start all the way.
Oh no.
I had to start all the way over. I'm like, oh, this game has balls. All right, okay, so I'm in. And then between the combat, because it's like Metal Gear Rising combat. You said Bayonetta, but I think
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're
same
spot
thing.
on.
Yeah.
Same developer.
Yep. So like it reminded me of Metal Gear Rising with just the weird kind of nuance of Kojima in there a little bit. And I played it and I beat it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I started it up again because I've heard that there's multiple playthroughs, and playing the second one, and then the third one, which is completely different. And then I found out that there's 26 endings, and that you could
Jesus.
yeah, and they're just joke endings and stuff like that. And like you could
There are 5 legitimate endings.
I
The
was
rest are
so
joke.
pissed. I accidentally unequipped all my chips at once, and I hadn't saved in like an hour, and I was just doing a bunch of grinding and side quests and shit. Dude, I was like, I just stood at my screen, just like my jaw was dropped. Like I knew I was gonna die ahead of time.
Yeah.
I just wasn't thinking about it. Like,
Frustrating.
yeah,
You
I was like,
equip the.
I'm such a dumbass.
You're an android, and one of your chips, like that's how you equipped your skills and stuff. You could say, is your operating system. So if you unequipped it, you just
Game
die.
over.
I was just trying to optimize my setup, dude. I was just optimizing.
dude, and no one knew you were probably
It's
on that
'cause he
menu
cheats.
screen thinking about your OS your whole chip system for like 20 minutes. Like, all right,
I was just planning shit out.
okay, if I pull this one out, this one takes
Yeah.
up about 5 slots.
He had a notepad and he was doing some
Googling
teacher
it.
I was doing trigonometry on that.
Yeah.
Like, just working it
Algebra.
out.
Cosine.
Algorithms.
But yeah, by the time
OS.
you could actually leave a battle and it would be like so and so left the battle and everyone died. The end. Like just stuff like that. It was such a creative game, and I've never played anything like that. I'm playing through the original Nier on PS3 now, which is $33 at GameStop. There was a bunch of stickers on it, and I ripped each one of them off. It was originally $11. Who knows how long ago?
Are you near the end? I'll be quiet now.
All right, I don't know why I laughed.
Anyways, yeah, that's my favorite game. It caught me 100% by surprise, and all the endings and the emotion, how depressing it was, and how the twists and the turns in it. Because I know Keith's playing it, we can't say anything about it right now, but the twists at the end and all that and everything about it just surprised me, and it was like, this is why I like video games, because this game is fucking awesome. So
Yeah, I was telling Neil in our last episode that Nier, hands down, had the largest number of twists and the best execution for every single one.
Mm.
Like Persona 5, which I think a majority of you guys at the table have played, has some good twists, and they stick the landing on each one of them very well. And yet Nier had like 10 times as many, and everyone made sense with the story. And
Mhm.
I just thought it was mind-blowing. Like, so cool to see not only that the writing could be that creative and flexible, but that there couldn't be a dud out of all of those attempts at transforming the storyline.
And it showed like with Persona 3 or Persona 5 and Nier Automata, like it showed that video games can have fucking swagger. Because like
Absolutely.
everything about them was just like confident and just like they just showed out like everything, like being when you went up to the bunker in Nier and you had the side view and the monochrome and all that stuff. Like that shit was just cool.
When you take the items that the experimental drugs that improve your combat ability, and what it ends up doing is creating like a random screen filter or effect.
Oh, I didn't do that.
So the character
they're
Jackass
great.
gives you those S drugs, I think they're called. Aside from also
I never
giving you
needed to use them
mackerel.
because it was so the game was pretty easy.
Yeah. Did you eat the fish, by the way?
No.
That's another ending you can get if you eat that mackerel
the
that
best
Jackass
ending.
gives you. Yep.
Shit.
It's great.
Your insides gum up, and as you're dying, you think, yeah, but that fish was pretty good.
It's like no wonder humans liked him.
Now, when you guys play
The joke
games like
endings are
this,
great.
do you look up these endings or do you naturally stumble across them?
I naturally
found
stumbled.
most of mine.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that in that particular setting, Jackass is like, I don't know what'll happen if you eat this, but you should eat this so I can see. So you're like, okay. So you go into
I
your
think
menu,
Jackass
you
even
use it.
suggests that it's maybe not the healthiest thing, but it's worth experimenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll usually I'll beat the game and then go back and kind of look up things about it, look up the trophy list and all that stuff. By the way, you can buy all of the trophies in that game. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
through the-
You could literally spend 50 G's and buy trophies, and you spend 50 G's at this
Fake money.
fake money,
Okay, okay.
in-game. Yeah.
in-game money, in-game money, and he'll be like, "Here you go," and then all of a sudden, bing, your trophy will pop up. You can get a
Yeah,
platinum
I think
just
you
by.
buy them from a meal.
It's only 50 each.
Well, that's the ones I saw. I didn't look through the whole thing, but I know there was 50 at least for a few of them that I saw.
Damn, I'm kind of disappointed because I watched you play it a little bit. It was fun to watch, so it had to be fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super chaotic battles at points. So
Can't believe you guys
Anywho.
had the same list.
Yeah, I know it's really not entertaining, but
Team cahoots, man.
you guys are gonna bring it home.
Oh,
so
my answers are gonna suck. Guarantee you that. You want me to get mine out of the way, Keith?
good next.
Go for
yeah,
it.
you eat that mic.
You eat the mic. Yeah, like I said, guys, I did terrible. I played a lot of Injustice 2. Oh, we got to go in order, don't we? Actually, let's go Keith because I actually need to think about the games that I played.
Yeah,
that
I
came
don't
out
really
this
have
year.
a top 3. I just have like these are awesome games that I liked.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, the thing is with this year is like, imagine there's like a threshold, and above that threshold is games like Last of Us, like this like classic games, 10 out of 10. And like this year, there's just like a bunch of amazing games, but they're all like 8.5s to me. You know what I mean? There's none that really pass that like next level classic. Oh, this is like playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time. You know,
Everything
when
it
hits you like
flaws,
that.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So like you look at Resident Evil, the first half of the game is incredible, and then it totally loses steam in the second half and totally falls off.
I
Even though,
loved watching you play that.
dude, like the first few boss fights of that Resident Evil 7 are just like totally immersive. You have no idea what's going on, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to defeat them. So they just add to that sense of panic and immersion. You're just running around like, what the hell? Like this guy is insane, and he's coming after me.
My favorite one was the older lady that was like a spider bug. Just
Yeah, that bitch was crazy, dude.
right. Anywho,
And so, anyways, what else we got? Nier. So my problem with Nier, Neil and John
Mm-hmm.
and Scott, just because I'm throwing you in there.
bam. It's because you're not here. You can talk smack.
Right.
You and
So-
your mustache.
You got a mustache,
If you got a
Scott?
mustache.
Is that where your
I
hair's
don't
at,
have a
Scott?
mustache.
He doesn't
but
even
it
have a
is
mustache.
yeah,
dude.
you don't even
worth
got a
a
I
mustache.
don't
try.
even have
What
a
the
mustache,
Come
do
on,
you,
man.
Scott?
If you go west in Nebraska, you got to be a hipster somehow. Don't
got
know
a
why. Don't
Montana
know why I
mustache.
said
I know.
that, but I said that.
I'll work on it, guys. It is getting cold enough.
Sorry, Keith. Think about Nier.
So yeah.
Man, Nier. Okay, Nier also an amazing game. Like on the next level, combat it was crazy good. The soundtrack was incredible.
we didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
Atmosphere was on point. My issue with Nier was there wasn't enough areas to it. You have your central hub world, grassy buildings and shit. You have your space station, 2 little towns, and then the desert, which was pretty much full of nothing. And
That's
there's only
true.
like 4 areas. Like it's super condensed, and obviously they did that because they wanted you to do multiple playthroughs. But I feel like that was also like kind of cheap at the same time. Because what happened with my first playthrough and why I didn't get too far in the second one or finish the second one is I did all the side quests And a lot of it was fetch quests and just running around the same areas. So by the time I got to my second playthrough, it's like, dude, I've been walked through this desert like 20 fucking times, dude. I can't handle this. I need to go play another game for a little bit and come back. You know what I mean? But yeah, Nier is
Totally
obviously
agree.
next level. Yeah. It's still very creative. Characters were awesome. The storyline from what I was getting so far was intriguing.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Exactly,
Yeah.
though. That's need to get back to it.
It's like a B- until Route C, and then it becomes an A.
really,
Yeah.
It gets-
trying to talk me back into that game right now.
And then you get,
What else?
You get the final 5. You get all 5 endings together, and that's what I think totally excels it into that
Mhm.
like A plus. Probably one of the best storylines of the year.
Shit.
It's just one of those things. It's the sleeper finale. Like
And it sucks because I feel like we might be making this into Undertale in terms of how much we hype it up, but it's totally worth playing. Don't let us overhype it, though.
And what other games? Evil Within 2 was a lot of fun, but it didn't grab, I think, me and a lot of other people the same way the first one did. It improved gameplay wise in a lot of ways, but just that sense of like, I remember playing the first one and I was like, dude, like, what is this place? I was so like sucked in to this game. Like, what is going on in this world?
Do you think that's why you didn't like it as much? You were a little disappointed because you weren't able to be as surprised as you were taken back
Well,
from the first one?
It doesn't do as good of a job of that this
Oh.
time around. Like, it has a bunch of storyline revolving around your wife, and we don't really care about her. And that's kind of like the main point of the game is trying to save her and your daughter, but you have no sense of attachment to them because they haven't been given any character development.
In the first one specifically, yeah.
yeah, and for the second one till like the end, and you're like, man, shut up! I don't care what you're crying about.
I want to see Ruvik. Where the fuck's Ruvik?
exactly. So, but there's still like, and Evil Within 2 is still weird, but it wasn't that
Is it-
right kind of weird. You
Could
know
you
what I
say
mean?
like Evil Within 1 was like Wu-Tang in the early 90s? And Evil Within 2 is like
Oh.
Wu-Tang in the 2000s? Where like
I
you
wouldn't
went-
go that far. All right, it's better than Wu-Tang in the 2000s.
But you know what I mean?
but-
Like the analog, the grittiness of Evil Within 1 was kind of
Yeah.
its charm, right?
yeah,
And the seemed like 2, I didn't play it, but it seemed like 2 kind of Far Cried itself a little bit. There was a little bit of open world, like we can go here, but you don't have to, or type stuff.
Where I think that analogy fails, though, is that people love 90s Wu-Tang,
Yeah.
and not a lot of people loved.
But I guess I don't mean the quality of the raps. I mean like production wise. Like so you get when in the 2000s when everyone was trying to experiment with digital and all this new technology.
And if digital is open world, then like, I think I understand where you're coming
That's
from.
a good
Yeah.
metaphor.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but I just couldn't
Analogy?
talk. Yeah. I couldn't.
But they definitely made a game that appealed more to the masses, and it did well because of that. But if you like the
feel like-
first game,
I feel like it didn't though. It didn't have poor sales, or
no, it did pretty
did it?
well.
Okay, good.
But it sold better than the first one. We'll say that much.
Okay.
But like for the few people out there that loved the first one and all of that like cinematic film-esque horror that it provided you with, I horror is not the right word to put it, but it felt like you were playing a movie at points
In 1 or 2.
in one.
Uh-huh.
And you got those moments in 2, but only occasionally. Like you would
played
have to
through
be
2?
transported. Yeah, I
Okay.
beat 2.
Okay.
Or no, I played up to I think the last, or I'm trying to remember like what the defining moment was in that game. I played like halfway through, and then I watched Tiffany play through hers, like play the game through on her save all the way through. But yeah, I lost interest partway through just because like it. I don't know.
It's a different director, isn't it?
Yeah, so Shinji Mikami is still a producer on it, but it's now, I think, not that it matters, but I think it's an American producer
I see.
or director, I should say. But like those canned situations that you would get where you would obviously have a very like linear path and event. Like when you go into the house in the first open world segment and you get spirited away into like a ghost hospital again. For
That
a
was
bit.
awesome.
That was great. Yeah. But there just weren't enough of those. And like,
Is it because they gave too much to the player, too many options? So they couldn't really like do that focus.
Well, as soon as they wanted to make a pseudo open world game, they lost the ability to make the entire game that sort of experience.
Because Buck was just telling, you're playing Evil Within right now too, right? Or Evil Within also.
Yeah, the first one right now.
And he was saying that, well, you can tell it, but about how you would just like, just wait to hear what's going on around the door, and it would just take a lot of time just to get through a level.
I'd plug my headphones into the controller. Yeah, and it would literally take me maybe an hour and several minutes of change to pass one chapter. And there's what is there, like 20 chapters in the first one? Does that sound right?
18?
13?
Is oh shoot.
14?
Oh, 14
13-ish?
sounds right.
Okay, somewhere around there.
14 sounds, I don't know why I said 20, but yeah. And I'm stuck right now in the fire pits with that demon lady that crawls like the Thing. The first Thing movie with Captain Kurt Russell.
The sister, potentially? Or is that?
Laura?
I don't know. I didn't play it.
I don't remember names.
I'm not good at survival horror games.
It's the demon chick, dude.
It's
She's
the demon
crawling
chick
around on her legs.
that
And
The one
crawls.
with the blood, right?
she doesn't like fire.
Yeah, the one with
Okay,
the blood
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
And she just kind of appears and fire works best on her.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know
I
how
think he's
else
at
to
the second
explain her.
encounter with her. And I think if you were to get past that part, that's when it really starts kind of just getting even more weird. And
I'm gonna have to cheat.
How long would it take you to beat Resident Evil 7? Because that game with headphones on made me fucking terrified.
No, I don't know. I almost, when we get to me, I watch these guys play more new games than I had played myself. And watching Keith, we had the sound on and it was great. It would take me a long time because I don't like to look. If I'm stuck, I don't like to look up right away. Like, well,
Yeah.
damn it, what do I do? I'm gonna try to grind out a little bit and figure it out.
Yeah.
But now I think for this not Resident Evil, excuse me, Evil Within part, I'm gonna have to cheat. I don't know how to beat this demon psycho schizo thing.
Oh, are you in the vent system where you have to
accurate.
use the levers to
To burn
Yeah,
her,
and drop her
to
like
drop
a
her in the
pit.
fire.
No,
pit.
he doesn't have to shoot up at those levers.
No,
That's
you
a-
don't.
that's
You
a
don't
third-
shoot the
that's a
levers,
final.
right?
Well, there is a final fight with her where
That or
there's,
so
like,
so
levers
he's
and
not on
pipes
that
and-
one.
No,
Or-
so he's like in one before that.
I'm
Okay,
like in
okay.
chapter 5 or 6 right now.
Oh, I shouldn't help anyways. You
Yeah.
still okay? Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, Resident Evil 7 definitely was like a Big Brother game. That's one where you would watch your Big Brother play, and you're just
Oh,
like, you'd
God,
much
it's
rather just
great.
like watch him play. Like
Yeah.
I'd watch Keith play it, and I'm like,
I
dude,
was so hyped for that game to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I played the demo like as soon as it was announced at the E3. Played it like 6 times, just trying to find like hidden shit that no one else had found yet. Kind of like PT was going on, you know, like
God
there's so
rest
much-
its soul.
Dude,
rest in peace.
once you beat it for the first time, you started playing it like on those hardcore survivor
Yeah,
modes.
yeah. I just upped the difficulty and then tried it. I got like halfway through on my second playthrough, and I was like, all right, I don't like
Does
the
the-
rest of this game.
Does the music change
Restart.
when you switch difficulty?
Maybe.
That'd be a sweet concept.
That's actually a really good idea.
Great if they just take the music out so you have nothing to listen
Oh,
to.
that would be trippy.
That'd be awesome.
Add more ambient sounds,
Yeah.
even if
They
they're not
replace
actually
just-
there.
the
just
dad
sound
with
effects,
the
no
Kool-Aid man.
chords.
Even if it
He's
was
just busting through
yeah.
walls coming at you. Kool-Aid mode.
Coming in the garage.
So
imagine if it was PT and all you could hear was that swinging refrigerator that in the remember that?
That's all you heard?
Just that's why it was so good.
That'd drive me
God.
crazy.
And that radio. That's
Turn
not all right. Anyways,
All right, so yeah,
Anyways.
we're like
2017.
this is trying to stay on topic here with this. Also, South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
I have it. I have not played it.
That's
I've-
probably the funniest game I've ever played in my life.
Did you play that one, Scott?
No, I didn't, but I got to hear about it a little bit from
Mm.
Cookie playing it.
Yeah, and it's not like that the main story itself is funny. It's just all the dialogue and interactions in battle is what made it funny. The characters are constantly trashing each other.
Mm-hmm.
But Jimmy, he's always like, do better next time, you know, kind of attitude. Like it just.
And Craig's
it-
like, what do you think? What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm trying
Craig
to
is
fail?
so condescending towards like everything that's happening in the game.
That's
But again,
great.
like it doesn't pass that threshold because the combat kind of sucked. As much as I love turn-based, that's my baby.
Mhm.
That's my shit, Scott. In case you didn't know.
I kind of
But
But you
figured.
like tactics
You know,
still too.
I love tactical games and thinking it through, and it was just it's fine because it's a South Park fan base. So what?
Is
what
it
made
just basic turn based? Like there's
It's too
No
basic though.
special
So
flair to it.
They
Yeah,
have a
it gets
tile
boring.
grid now that you move on,
Like front
you
row,
referred to
back row
tactical.
stuff?
Nah, it's like a 3x4 grid or something, real small.
It's a small grid. There's no height dimension to it. Just
It's like smaller than Fire Emblem Mobile Go, whatever they called it. And
Seriously, it's smaller than Fire Emblem Heroes.
and it's super abusable. So if you've played Final Fantasy Tactics, like this game is trivial.
right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you can kick the shit out of anything.
Which in turn, like watching Cookie play it, I was just like, man, I would love this game if they just took out the combat
Like
or like it more. I should.
it's
say.
kind of like, would you rather have them focus on being just funnier than anybody instead of having the best combat available?
Yeah, I mean, well, I would just say like go Deadly Premonition on it, except, well, I mean, what Deadly Premonition should have done, which is just don't have combat in it.
I don't know.
I like a little combat. That's because you love visual novels, man. I can't.
But okay, so adventure games also exist, and they usually don't have combat. Like, and
You love Myst.
The fact that you can control
this was good.
you can control time with your farts,
Neo loves Myst.
and like all of your tactics revolve around farting. Like you could switch a turn, you could go back in time.
Oh.
Like there's like that right there is like, since I'm not a hardcore RPG guy, but like playing that game with the little that I have played it, but the fact that they, you could throw poop at people, or can you throw poop? I feel like you could have.
I'm not an
you can throw your
RPG guy,
first
but
one.
I'm
In
all
the first
about
one you
that
can.
butt
Yeah.
humor.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, they made it trivial so anyone could play it, because not everyone's going to want to play Final Fantasy Tactics or like a hardcore Fire Emblem game.
Right.
They're too punishing.
Yeah, and so
South
basically
Park
you
probably
just
has a better casual following too.
exactly.
For
So
sure.
I
Those
understand why they
franchises.
did it. It's just you would just slog through the fights, like, and you just wait for the punchlines in the fights. That was the reward for fighting. It wasn't the actual combat.
Yeah.
The game is still like I said, and then like a lot of people try to be funny in games and try to be like make a funny game, and they can't do it. And this game just kills it.
Mhm.
So what else do we got? Destiny 2, played it for a month. Moving on.
It might be the best shooter out there, mechanics wise, in my opinion, but they really kind of screwed up.
It just doesn't have as much content as it needs, right?
Yeah, and the leak just came out today. Did you see that? It's like what is it called? The Wrath of Mars or something like that. It was on the Euro PSN site, leaked for the new expansion. You get to go back to Mars, and you got to take on the Rasputin, you guys don't even care about
Wait,
this
that's
stuff.
what people were bitching about, though, right?
Yeah, because
it's-
it was $20. I've already, like an idiot, I bought the season pass. I've already paid for this leaked expansion that came out today. But like when the first Destiny came out, there was multiple raids and all this stuff. And now they're just doing raid layers, and people don't like the microtransactions and stuff. But we all played it. Buck, Keith, and I all played Destiny.
I had
at lunch,
fun.
and it was fucking fun.
I had
was
fun,
fun.
but that was, it's not gonna keep your interest for more than a month. I feel like the PvP sucked compared to the first one. The first one was awesome. That's what kept me playing for.
PvP wasn't as good. PvE was like grinding on strikes and like trying to figure out a raid is always fun in my opinion. But yeah, the PvP definitely wasn't as good as the first.
The sword was awesome too. I would just go Dynasty Warrior style
Yeah,
and that shit.
dude. Keith and I beat the game together, and I'm sitting there just like hiding, trying to get my shield back.
The final boss.
Final boss, and I look over and Keith's just screaming. He's upstairs screaming, and I look up and he's flying through the sky with a sword, just going fucking sword. It just it hits him. The last hit of the boss with
Yeah,
a sword. It was the.
I wish I
funniest.
had that on video, dude.
I tried to capture it, but dude, I mean, that's just because they had so much potential there, because like it's the only game of its kind right now.
The
and
Xbox One doesn't have like a capture mode where it's constantly recording.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
And I just missed the time. I missed the timing of
Oh.
it.
You hit the button, and then it takes like the last, 20, 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah, I was right after that.
Mm.
But yeah, like Destiny, I love Destiny. I put 1,000 hours into the first one, and Yeah, I just don't. There's no incentive for me to come
Wait,
back.
really
to
1,000 hours?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I thought most people had issue with Destiny not having enough content.
Ah, man, I've never played an MMO in my life, and it had these weird grinding stuff that you know they usually have to get certain weapons, to get certain armor and stuff like that, and Destiny and college football go hand in hand for me. So I'll just put a TV down there and watch college football, and play Destiny while I watch college football, and it was just kind of my
It's his routine,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, so in a year or a year and a half, when there are multiple expansions out for Destiny 2 or more on than what are out, is this game going to be better then? Because Destiny 1 was not good on release, but
No.
it became a better game.
As soon as the Taken King came out for Destiny, because there was 2 expansions before the Taken King came out. As soon as the Taken King came out for Destiny 1, like that was the game. You could tell that was the game that they wanted to put out, and I loved it. That was so much fun. So we'll see what this next one is, but right now it's not looking too promising. But like,
It could just be like what they do with The Sims, which is, they have all these expansions out. You got your pets, you got your seasons, and then Sims 3 comes out, nothing's there, and then you have to wait 3 years, and then everything's out, and then Sims 4 comes out, and nothing's there, and you got to wait for the expansions.
And then in between one of those games, they made that golf course game.
What, golf course?
You could build your own golf courses, dude.
In The Sims?
Sim City.
I've
Nope.
never actually fucking played that much of The Sims. I just know
Sims
that's
golf,
like...
You'd run your own golf course, you build your golf courses, and then
Bucks game of the year 7 years in a row.
Hot Shots Golf.
and then
Yeah.
right
PS1
along
Hot Shots.
right along with my best album every year, Puff Daddy, We in the Family, or Keep
No-
It in the
No Way
Family,
Out.
No Way Out. Yeah, don't even say it right. We in the Family.
So okay, we've mentioned a lot of games though. What was your favorite game that you played?
Keith,
this
gun to
year,
your
Keith?
head. Pick 3.
I don't want to.
Okay, gun to your
Pick
head.
one.
Pick one.
All right.
Blam.
It wasn't a game that came out this year.
Pick it, man.
Soma.
Pick
All right.
Pick your game.
All right. Resident Evil then. No.
The original.
That...
The
we
original.
just established that Resident Evil 7 was good for the first half, and then the second
The
half...
first half is so good. I think.
It trumps the rest. Gun to your head. It trumps.
Like
I love
have it
Cosmic
on...
Star Heroine. God damn. All right. If I had to go top 3, but this is in no particular order.
Say it, man.
Resident Evil.
Yeah. What else?
Put that gun down, dude.
I'm done, man. I'm done.
Put the gun down.
Put your gun down.
No.
I just put my gun down.
Put it down.
It's down.
Put it down.
The listeners that may or may not be listening don't know, but my gun is down.
Wait, is this like an indie RPG?
Yeah, this game.
What the hell
Look at those.
is
Oh
this?
my god, the graphics are just incredible.
What game is this?
Cosmic Star Heroine.
And
I'm
not
saying-
like the drug.
Not the drug, but the actual like a hero, female
It's heroin
hero.
with an E on it. Okay.
I mean, I don't know why you can't just call it a hero. I mean,
Cosmic Star Hero.
there-
Ryan.
there's no reason to lesser someone by having an I and E at the end of their title.
Respect her pronouns, dude.
All right.
Whoa. Are you saying women are lesser?
Yeah, why do you imply
Are you
that,
trying
Neil?
to twist this on me, Scott?
Wow,
Hey, I'm
hot
just
take
saying.
of
Honestly, Neil, I didn't know this
Putting the guns at
podcast
you
was
now,
going to be
Scott.
like this.
Hold on,
all right?
hold on.
I thought we were going to have
Hold on. Why,
Guns are at
why do
Scott
we
now.
not say waitresses or stewardesses anymore?
I do.
I say it.
We
I-
say servers.
Mm.
It's because we're
Oh,
trying to
Resident Evil.
move to an agender term.
So
or-
when there's a
All right,
group,
regardless,
when
what-
there's a group of girls, can I be like, "Hey guys"?
yeah, you could.
I don't do that.
What's
though.
up, dudes?
Hey team.
You could say dudes too. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Oh, hey
They
guys.
like it. Girls love it when you call your girlfriend a dude and see how much she cares about.
Life
You
lessons
after
from
that.
Keith.
She likes you a lot more.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning. So Cosmic Star Heroine.
The story's okay. It's there, but the game is so goddamn charming on every level. And it's so fast paced. Like it's never in a dungeon for too long. If you're a fan of like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3, Super Nintendo RPGs, you will absolutely love this game. And it's got a good turn-based. Guys, Jeff just hurt himself.
He tried
Anyways,
to be
So,
really,
so what you're saying
really
is this
careful
game
and he
is
still
not
hit
for
something.
Scott.
what is I don't know. I don't know Scott like that. Scott, is this game for you?
I don't think it is.
What,
Scott-
this one?
Yeah, you looking at it?
I don't know. It might be for me. I loved Chrono Trigger, and I'm looking at an image right now on Google, where it looks like you're analyzing an enemy that's a giant robot, and it says left arm, and it shows the giant robot.
Oh yeah,
like,
they
HP
definitely. I
and
feel like they
weakness.
put that on purpose so you could see like the Chrono Trigger boss inspiration.
Yeah, but it's also got a funny it's the text is pretty funny too, and I like that. It says much larger than your arms. Like you're
Yeah, it
looking at a
doesn't take
giant
itself
mecha, and
too
that's the
seriously.
information it wants to give you.
Yeah. Combat's really
Yeah,
good.
Cactus head. Sometimes a cactus starts growing on a head. It's a thing. Like I like this humor. At the very least,
I'm
I
just
could-
giving you
I
shit
could
since
check
you
it out.
didn't play Final Fantasy 3. So
yo man, Final
What?
Fantasy 3 was bullshit.
Wait, are we talking Final Fantasy 6 right now?
We are,
Yeah.
and the reason I'm calling bullshit is because
Come on,
I suck
Scott.
at these games.
Do I have to go
was
to
getting
Montana?
dunked.
Right now?
Put the gun down. Put the gun down.
Fucking go to Montana, dude. Wait.
Scott, don't make me get back on my microphone.
It's gonna rip that mustache right off your face.
I
So did
I
you
already
just have a
told
bad
Neil that-
childhood, and that's why you never played it?
I
or-
never played it, but I have
Well,
played
I
it
did.
now.
Yeah, I never had exposure
On
to it
PSP
until I got my
emulator.
SNES Mini. But I
Wait,
was
you
telling Neil
played
recently
the
that
FF6 on
I'm
PlayStation.
willing to give it a
No,
second
on
chance.
Super Nintendo emulator on
Oh,
PSP.
okay, sorry.
But I have it on Super Nintendo Classic now, so I'm gonna play that now.
All right, sorry for interrupting, Scott. I just heard something crazy.
No, it's cool. All I said was that I'm gonna give Final Fantasy 3 another chance once I finish up on the other games I'm dealing with.
It's about time.
I got
I'll accept
frustrated.
that.
I had a really hard time figuring out how to use Sabin and not get killed because
In the boss fight?
I'll make it.
The
I'll
first
make it
one?
Yeah, I know
super
what you're
quick.
talking
I was
Left,
telling
right, left,
Neil
A, B, right?
that I did not know how to use that attack, and it didn't teach me how to use that ability until it was too late for me to use it on my next turn because I'd get killed by the boss. And so I was beyond frustrated.
Get some potions, bro.
Oh no,
I'm-
you have the
I'm
timer.
such a
Oh,
such
okay,
a-
yeah. They
yeah. And I'm also such a tight ass in JRPGs. Like I almost never buy items, which I realize is just beyond foolish.
Yeah,
but
there's no
I'm like
point
that
to buy
bad
items.
habit.
Yeah.
I'm just like that.
it's the same way I play
know why.
Resident Evil. Like I collect green herbs and then I combine them together and then I never use the med spray.
Well, there's a reason not to use the med spray in Resident
You
Evil.
sell that shit.
Are we talking about 4 then?
Yeah, we're talking about 4.
Okay, because in the other Resident Evils, I think if you use the med spray, it actually lowers your rank at the end of the game. So
Oh, yeah, I wasn't worried about rank. I was
you were probably
worried
like
about-
a squall or a squirrel in Metal Gear Solid as well.
Metal Gear Solid? Nah, man. That's not true. Metal Gear Solid 5, I keep getting butterfly.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
because you're.
I'm
Yo,
a
guys,
vicious
detective.
butterfly.
you got to educate me right now. What the hell's going on?
It doesn't matter. So
I get
so-
I get butterfly or octopus or
It's like your
what's the other
spirit
one?
animal or what?
I rotate
yeah,
through
it's your
three.
spirit animal.
And then
That's what it is.
like hound or whatever.
So conclusion here: your game of the year is Cosmic Star Heroine.
No. It's not game of the year. It's just a great game that I enjoyed this year, along with many other titles that I enjoyed this year.
Gun to your head.
Persona 5. Don't gotta talk about that. We kind of
Yeah, that
Mhm.
we've said enough about that game. It's good. It's good. There
good.
are some
It's a good
flaws.
game.
Yeah,
it's a good game.
So
Um,
good.
just to reiterate,
Just so we know,
South Park, Resident Evil 7, and Persona 5.
Sounds like Cosmic Star Heroine's number one for him.
no, it's not number one. Come back to me.
All right.
What,
Guys,
what do you got, Buck?
Yo, I'm going to be real quick. I thought about it a lot. I only
The
played
last
two
2 minutes.
2017 games. And that was Injustice 2. I was stoked about Injustice 2. I haven't been this excited for a fighter game since I would go to my cousin's house who had a Super Nintendo and we would play Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 and
Turbo?
Street Fighter.
Championship Edition.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
fuck yeah.
Fire.
But
Pro wrestling.
I played that game into the dirt. I had every character up to at least level 12. Like that's what I would do. I would pick one character level 12 get the loot. I love that they put loot and levels into a fighting game.
That was really cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
First DLC came out and help me remember who were the fighters that came out if you guys can.
Red Hood.
Red Hood and Sub-Zero.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
So Scorpion was in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fair enough that they put another Mortal Kombat character in. And then I saw the silhouettes of the next crew coming out, and obviously the rice hat, it was Raiden. I don't know why that upset me, but that made me stop. And I'm
Like, he's iconic.
I know, but it's not a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, okay.
It's a DC fighting game. I understood one character.
Yeah.
But two, and now that I think about it now and I say it out loud, it sounds selfish and stupid. Why would I be upset?
But to support you, Raiden, is the biggest pushover in the Mortal Kombat universe.
Is he?
Like, did you play
liked
Mortal
him.
Kombat 9 or 9 specifically, the story mode, which is just a giant, terribly written, but in a good way, movie that goes into the fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has all these premonitions and ends up completely screwing over the Mortal Kombat timeline. He sucks. But
He's
like Cyclops. You hate him, but
He's easy to hate.
Yeah, he's good. He's good to have around because you hate him.
Mm-hmm. I loved everything about that game. I loved all the characters. I loved the gameplay. I loved the online play. I sucked at it, but I still did it because I'd win like 1 out of 5 maybe. It was still fun. And then, so like I said, all I saw was that silhouette, and then I stopped playing Injustice 2. And then I got upset when I saw the other characters that were coming out, which is Hellboy and Black
Adam. Or no, Black Mantis.
Black Mantis, yes.
Or is it Manta? I don't know. And then you got Adam and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. I don't know why they did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Movie coming, or is there a movie coming out or something? I don't know.
DC does own the
Yeah.
rights. Okay, so that does make sense now.
I didn't realize they were Hellboy. Is
Could
that
you-
Dark Horse?
Hellboy looks dope.
Yeah. It was Vertigo? Or am I wrong?
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Or was it
That would make sense.
or was it Image? No, I think it was Vertigo. Anyway. So did people vote, or was this just
No, they
developers
planned it,
were
yeah.
like, this is what we're doing? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
because like
I wish they gave you like a list of 10 and then the millions of people that played the game voted, but that's just wishful thinking. And then guys, the only other game I played was Destiny 2. It was fun for a while, like we already said, as a shooter. Online was dope for a while. And then I got bored. And then I played a lot of older games. Like I played Just Cause.
It was
like
like the free
Just
the free
Cause
PSN
3.
game.
Yeah. Like hours. I don't
Played
know
the
why.
shit out of that game.
I don't know why I found it so entertaining. Probably because it was an open world and it was so simple.
and the grappling mechanic is actually really good in that game too.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't touch the ground for miles, man. I'd grapple, I'd parachute, and I'd flying squirrel. Then I'd grapple again, parachute, flying squirrel, and then I'd
Throw a dude into a propane tank.
yeah. Then I'd.
Does that have you hyped for Spider-Man next year?
It kind of does. I've never really
Yeah.
see. I didn't even ever play those Batman games.
The Arkham games.
Yeah, I'm a huge superhero fan, but I've never played a superhero game that I've loved.
Yo, we need to get you a PS3, and you can.
Yeah,
have
he needs Spider-Man 2.
Is that where it's at?
Spider-Man 2 is a PS2 game, though, isn't it?
Yeah, PS2, GameCube. Yeah.
Okay.
But damn, that game was so good.
Was it?
I don't know if it's held up to the test of time, but I remember that game being critically acclaimed as one of the best.
the web
and
swinging's amazing in it too. So
It is phenomenal. Yeah.
Like, it's
The-
better
the
than
mobility in that
anything
game
else in
is
that game.
better than later Spider-Man
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, the new Spider-Man PS4 game looks incredible.
But that's it, guys. I played Injustice 2, Into the Dirt. I played a little bit of Destiny 2, and then I played a lot of old games. I guess if I need to say a third one, I'm excited to play it, but I haven't even taken it out of the packaging yet because I just bought it as Wolfenstein 2. But I'd like to say another one. I played a lot of simple games. I played a shooter and a fighting game. I don't have great games like you guys have for this year. But at the end, are we doing stuff we're looking forward to like we did last year?
We didn't last time, so I think we just wrap things up.
Oh, okay.
Wrap it up.
Well, then thanks for popping all my bubbles there.
I mean, if can
I say something?
Can I
you
say
wanted
one
to talk
thing?
about?
Days Gone. I won't play Days Gone.
Days Gone does look dope.
Zombie Oceans nonstop.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say, Neil. Can I have that?
Yeah, you can have it.
Thanks, buddy.
Now I'm gonna cut it out.
Damn it! I hate Neil. I hope you lose a lug nut in your Jeep.
No,
just one lug nut falls off. That's all I hope for right now. You'll make it home.
That Jeep is fucked up, man. If I break down, you're gonna tow me, okay?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good.
On to
Established.
Scott. Scott, I'm done, man. That's all I have.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you guys my games of the
I
year.
dare you.
What was Scott's list again? I'm trying to remember. At the
Oh wow, Neil, I'm
top-
glad it left such an impression on you.
I haven't even started editing last night's footage yet. So.
That's right. This is part 2.
You
Yeah.
didn't even start listening to what I said or how
right.
I feel.
It was Dream Daddy. That was number 1. And number 2 was
Hollow Knight.
Sakura Dungeon.
Hollow Knight.
And are you looking at the list?
Oh, that's what he told me.
No,
before.
Neil, it sounded
Because I
sounded
listened
like
to
you
what
got
Scott
it
says.
just
Yeah.
right.
Get him, Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dream Daddy.
yeah.
number 1.
Actually, I gave the lineup to. I was telling Keith and I think John a little earlier, but my list was Super Mario Odyssey at the number 1 spot, followed by Persona 5, and then in third place, though honestly I could interchange it with Persona 5, was Hollow Knight, which by far is the best indie game I've played in a while.
I gotta
Probably
check
since
that out.
Undertale.
You guys
That
have
game
to
is-
embrace
If you like
Steam.
Metroidvania, that is
Looks like a Pokemon.
oh, it's so fucking good.
Oh, I didn't mean to be rude. Sorry,
No,
Scott.
it's
Keith's
cool.
giving me.
I don't care.
He's giving me live images right now. I just thought that was the first thing I thought. First, I thought
That game's
for some
got-
reason I thought it was Shovel Knight that you were saying, but that's my fault.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you like Shovel Knight, I think it's a better version of what I enjoyed about Shovel Knight.
Oh,
Shovel Knight
It's
technically
just-
came out with a game this year. The expansion.
Yeah, Phantom of
Or what was
Shadows
it?
or
Yeah.
something.
That's right. You talked
Shadows of
about
the
it.
Damned. Wasn't it?
Okay. I
no,
don't remember
that's
it.
Grand Theft Auto. Shadows of the Damned.
Very
Same thing.
easy to
Plague
get
of
those things
Shadows.
Yeah,
No,
something like
that's
that.
not it. It doesn't matter though,
Yeah.
because it wasn't as good as Hollow Knight. But yeah, Hollow Knight is like for any of you guys, if you enjoyed Metroidvania style games and you like Dark Souls, then it's like it is the perfect fusion of those two things and the strong elements of each. Like the Metroidvania maps and level design and just exceptional audio and art and minimalist storytelling from Dark Souls, and then a really, really excellent 2D combat system and wonderful characters and world building. Like just overall, I couldn't poke any holes in it. And the reason it didn't take a higher spot is probably because it was an indie game, and so it just ultimately had less of my time involved in it.
what makes it? Sorry,
beat the
Scott.
game.
What makes it an indie game again? I don't know what that means.
Hollow
Or,
Knight?
or should I? Yeah. What is an indie game? I don't know. I'm dumb.
I mean, an indie game just means that it's not coming from like a AAA develop and publish, like a AAA developer or publishing team.
Yeah,
I
and you,
think
you can't
the
go
guys
into
who
you
did
can't go
this-
into Best Buy and buy it.
So if Neil made a game, it would be
Yeah.
an indie game.
Yeah, it'd be a pile of shit. That's what
It would-
Neil's
it would
making
be a
dating
very
sims right
indie
now
game.
in his fucking
The guys who
girlfriend's
develop
room.
it, Team Cherry, I don't know if they've made any other video games. So that's another thing too that's very common with indie games is normally the publishers and the developers don't have like a huge amount of games under their belt, or at least under that entity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nominated for some awards this year. It was really spectacular. Great game if you guys have a PC, or I think you can get it on your PlayStation or your Xbox.
It's Nintendo Switch, Windows, Linux.
Oh
and
yeah,
Mac
it's going to be on the
OS.
Switch. It is.
Oh, it's on the
perfect for
Mac?
Switch.
Switch ass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that game's just great. Like I can't say anything negative about it besides the fact that I can say that my Xbox Elite controller couldn't handle how intense that game was.
Damn, that's the best controller.
I really like the
controller's
DualShock 4.
not bad, but the complaint that I had after doing a bit of research is for the analog sticks. Like one of the parts that they use that breaks under stress pretty easily is a plastic piece, and a lot of other Is it? Oh man, what do they call those other controllers? Are they Scud controllers or whatever?
It's good.
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure Scud is the other controller manufacturer for that, like PC gamers are really into, that have the programmable functions and additional like controls. Like the Elite's got the bumpers on the back, and I think those, or maybe it's Scuff. It might be Scuff.
Nah,
But anyway,
Scud's better.
Yeah, Scud sounds cooler, but those other controllers actually have these analog sticks with a metal component as opposed to the plastic, which is less
Damn.
susceptible to stress and warping. And I was so intense with my Hollow Knight playing that I actually ended up like adding a little bit of a slight drag to my controller's left analog stick.
Oh,
And that game needs such precision controls that it's very difficult to play without like having 100% precision. With your
Neil's got
controller.
the map up right now on his computer. That looks crazy.
Yeah, it's
very Metroid like.
is so much fun to explore, and the characters are so much fun. There's a character named Zote. The Mighty Zote is like an older, shittier version of you who's just like a really bombastic asshole who just wants to sing his praises about how great he is. And you get to a point in the game where he's like telling some other bug about his 50 or 51 like principles to success. And if you go through his dialogue, every time you talk to him, he'll tell a principle of success, and they wrote out like 51 principles for Zote, and almost every single one of them is funny or kind of like a dig on his character in some way.
Sounds awesome, and sounds like that game is perfect for the Switch,
Yeah, absolutely. It's one that would
Switch
definitely
ass.
benefit from being
which we'll get
portable.
sometime.
Are
Cool.
you guys going to get a Switch in 2018?
No, maybe.
It was console of the year for me.
What if Danganronpa switched over to the Switch? I didn't mean to be redundant there.
Pun.
Fuck.
Rewind.
If the new one, well, I don't know. I don't think if the new one went to the Switch, I would probably buy it. I will probably buy the Switch when Shin Megami Tensei 4 or 5 comes out.
Yeah, that'd be a good console seller, I think.
Yeah,
for,
for me, because
people.
I've never
Why
played
is
one
that
of them.
not coming on PlayStation?
I'm
God
surprised
damn
too.
it.
It's because all the Shin Megami Tensei
All
games
of
came
them
on
have for a long
3DS.
time.
Well, but Nocturne came out on PS2 too,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Used to.
it's about fucking time we finally have a follow up to Nocturne. Because as much as I did play some SMT4.
It doesn't exist to me.
It just doesn't have the same world element that Nocturne had.
Right.
So-
I've actually never played it. Just the screenshots, kind of some of them about it just turned me off.
Is it
Sexually.
the samurai top knot then?
It could be.
Yeah.
Just that, and it doesn't have that dark atmosphere to it.
You like having the short hair in your protagonists, right?
Is that what you're saying, Neil?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You got like short hair
I mean,
protagonists?
you have short hair
I
right
like
now.
Kime from Lost Odyssey very much.
You guys need to hug it out or something. Every time, you guys.
All right.
It's been building up for a while, people.
I know that reference because I started Lost Odyssey.
I have. Yet
I
to play it
read
yet.
half the book Odyssey with Homer.
It's the same thing.
Homer's a pretty good writer.
Likes donuts.
I think that does it for this episode of the Fancy Ramen podcast. Or Fancy Ramen, excuse me. I'm cutting off the podcast bit.
Yeah, part 2.
Game of the year.
It's been real.
20. What year is it?
You passing a kidney stone?
A minute. Not yet. You got a screen? I want to keep it.
He collects them.
I mean, are your pants down right now?
They're like,
Actually, can we see your pants on? Yeah, no, we're fine.
you can see his knees.
Go get me.
You can't see the catheter running down his leg, though.
Are you wearing sweat shorts?
Go get
He doesn't even have one. He just pisses himself.
Go get me a colander, Neil.
My dog hates it.
Conjuring.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Kumquats.
See you guys next year.
Scott!
Scott, later,
See you,
dude.
Scott.
Later. It's been a pleasure.